Okay, today's video I'm going to show you how I use the Doceri app. If I was in school, I could actually use this Doceri app and project it on my computer, and I can have a digital whiteboard on the screen. I can walk around with my iPad. And I like to walk around with the iPad, number one, just to be close proximity to the students, but I can also answer questions if I'm not standing at the front of the board trying to do examples. The iPad allows me the flexibility to move around. And so I'm going to show you how I use, like I said, I use the Siri to leverage my instruction, but I'm also going to show you how students can use the Siri. They can record their own video and solve a problem and send it to me, and I can give them feedback that way. I also like this area because not only can they use it as a whiteboard, but I like how I can model examples for students and record myself, as well as showing them how to use the digital calculator. So I'm going to do an example of finding the volume of a sphere. So here's the picture, the example that I'm going to use. And I'm only going to solve one, but I'm going to minimize the picture, and then I have to make sure that I have the calculator on the bar so it'll show up on the screen. And so I already have the volume formula here. And so the only thing that I need to know from this formula is how to identify the radius. So for example, number one, the radius is 11 because the radius is half of the diameter. But in example number two, the diameter goes all the way across. So that's the diameter. In order for me to find the radius, I have to take the diameter and divide by 2. So in example number 2, the radius would be 14. So now that I know what the radius is, I like to just write the steps just to make sure I'm putting the correct information in the calculator. I always tell my students it's great to use a calculator, but if you don't know how and what to put in it, it's not beneficial. So I'm going to go ahead and just write out my steps. So volume equals 4 divided by 3 times pi. And then my radius is 11, and I'm going to cube it. Make that look like a 3. And so now I know that if I put that in the calculator, it's going to give me the approximation number. Now, if I wanted the students to give me the exact number, I would leave it in pi. But this will be just an example to show my students how they can use the Siri with the calculator. So then I'm going to do the same thing for example number 2. Volume equals 4 divided by 3 times pi times my radius is 14 raised to the third power or cubed. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put this in a calculator. So I have 4 divided by 3 times pi, and I'm going to do second, and then that's my pi symbol. Now let me clear that, make sure. So 4 divided by 3 times second pi times 11 raised to the third power. And so the answer for this one would be 5,575, and I normally have the students round to the nearest hundreds, so it would be 2,800. And then the units is inches cubed, because we're again talking about volume, 3-dimensional shape. And then the last one, I'm going to go ahead and put that in the calculator. But this time I'm going to show them so how to use, if they click on math and they click on fraction and they click number 1, it'll give them, and then they can just put the fraction that way. And then so you got, but you should still get the same results. So that's 4 divided by 3 times pi. Again, I'm going second, my pi symbol, and then times 14 raised to the third power. I'm going to push enter. And so that answer would be volume equals 11,494. And again, if I'm rounding into the nearest hundred, 400th. And then again, my units is inches cubed. And so you would read that 5,575 and 2,800 cubic inches. I hope this video helps. Have a good day.